Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we got how good was Wilt Chamberlain actually? A lot of people say he was. Some people say he's the GOAT. He thinks he's the GOAT, but we'll see. We'll see how good he was actually, like the title said. But yeah, I'm excited. I didn't really, not in my era. He's like 10 years before me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain is often considered the most dominant force that played the game of basketball, and one of the greatest players of all time.
Calm down.
We already have the top 10 amazing facts on Chamberlain on this channel. And in this video, we'll try to further debunk the myth that is Wilt the Stilt. We'll try to answer the question of how dominant he was.
You gotta think about competition. Sure, he played against Bill Russell, but name one of those other guys in the background. Oh, wait. We'll be here till the 20th century.
Why he only won 2 championships. And why he didn't really like to dunk. So stay tuned. Most versatile athlete ever. Wilt Chamberlain was the strongest NBA player ever, and numerous stories confirm this. Arnold Schwarzenegger once said that Wilt could lift him up like he was nothing, and multiple 240-pound NBA players said the same thing.
I heard that he was strong like that. I heard
Chamberlain was an undefeated shot putter in college, and his record bench press was 550 pounds. At the age of 59, Wilt was still benching 465, more than some bodybuilders in their prime. Other than strength, Wilt was also extremely fast and agile.
What the heck?
He could run a 40-yard dash in 4.6 seconds, and his personal best at 100 meters was 10.9, which is mesmerizing for a guy that's 7'1".
He was an athlete.
Allegedly, at a Hollywood party, NFL Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown raced Wilt on a dare, and Wilt won. Brown, who was still in his prime, demanded a rematch, but Wilt beat him again.
How tall was Wilt?
Wilt was also extremely athletic, with a vertical leap of over 40 inches, with some reports saying it was even 48 inches.
Bro, 48 inches? He's touching the rim by standing there. 48 inches, bro? He's grabbing coins off the back.
Which would qualify for the highest NBA vertical ever. And he was doing that in Chuck Taylors, which makes it even more impressive.
Bruh. Put this man in some freaking Jordan, some Kyrie, some KD, some bronze, Kobe's, bruh. He's jumping in Converse, or whatever you call them.
Speed.
Okay. This is why we don't.
Would qualify for the highest NBA vertical ever.
Wait for it.
And he was doing that in Chuck Taylors, which makes it even more impressive. With crazy.
That's getting taken. That's getting taken in the league. Any era but yours, that's taken. That's not happening. That is... Shaq. Shaq would take that from you, bro. Like, who's the slowest player in the NBA? He would just... Look at this...
Strength, speed, and jumping ability. It's safe to say Wilt was the best athlete ever. LeBron's and Usain Bolt's of the world would give him a run for his money, but neither of them could match his strength. The best shot blocker ever. When there is any talk about Wilt, people usually start with 100 points in a game.
And he just didn't have the cameras on.
50 points per season. His offense made him famous, and it sold tickets in newspapers. But what is rarely...
But I'm going behind him if I'm a guard. I'm just poking that out, bro.
Chamberlain's defense. While he probably was the best defender in the league.
That's a goaltend, too.
That also includes Bill Russell. Wilt...
I don't know. Like these two guys, like people when they say
Russell
he's
were the premier shot blockers in the league. It didn't count shot blocking.
It gets me a little heated because.
But if it did,
they're not.
Hakeem Olajuwon wouldn't be the NBA all-time leader in blocked shots. When Walter Bellamy first came to the NBA, he had one of the best rookie years ever, averaging 31.6 points per game.
Okay.
To this day, Bellamy's scoring is the best ever by an NBA rookie, behind only Wilt Chamberlain, of course, who averaged 37.6 in his inaugural season. The first time Bellamy played Wilt, they both met at half court, and Walter introduced himself. "Hello, Mr. Chamberlain. I'm Walter Bellamy." Wilt then replied with, "Hello, Walter. You won't get a shot off in the first half."
No,
Wilt blocked Bellamy 9 times in a row in the first half. When the second half began, Wilt walked over to Bellamy
3
and
seconds
said,
of the pain, bro. Okay. I don't mess with these guys back in the day, bro. I don't. Like, this far back in the day. People are like, oh, he's the GOAT. He's the best of all time. They didn't.
Walter.
Oh, man.
Now you can play. He
I
did a
don't know.
very
I just have like a burning passion.
similar
bro.
thing to Magic Johnson in
Not-
1980. At UCLA campus, Magic would play pickup with various college and NBA players in the offseason. Wilt showed up and got in the game. After Magic called a non-existent foul, a 43-year-old Chamberlain got mad. There will be no more layups in this gym, and he blocked every one of Magic's shot after that and ran him out of the gym.
Because he's 7'2", y'all. Magic shouldn't have even been shooting, bro. But Magic, boom. Curry, look at Curry today. Look at any point guard. Just don't go in the paint. Just shoot a three. He's not gonna guard you up like that. Stop playing, bro. God
Wilt is
dang.
also the only guy to block Kareem's skyhook, the most
He
unguardable
looks like he's
move
getting
in history. Wilt played against
What are you
himself
talking about?
and everyone
He's
else.
getting cooked out there, bro.
Wilt's mother emphasized to him that he is different because of his size, that he's
Dang.
going to be stared at, and that he must use it in a good way, and always be well-mannered and kind. So,
a
Wilt
tall
grew
bro.
up an extremely good-natured guy, and on the basketball court, he received a lot more punishment and knocks in the paint that he would give away. He knew that he could beat everybody up, but he refused to do so. Former NBA player and coach Jack McMahon said it best. The best thing that ever happened to the NBA is that God made Wilt a nice man. He could have killed us all with that left hand. This behavior was reflected in the way he played the game as well.
Okay.
Wilt was the biggest, strongest, and most athletic player in his era. He could have
yeah,
easily
for sure.
dominated the game with his physical prowess alone. But unlike Olivia Newton-John, Wilt didn't want to get physical, at least not all the time. Nobody
like
loves
a
Goliath,
joke?
Wilt
Like a-
said to Sports
no.
Illustrated, explaining that
Jeez.
he wanted to show the world he's a skillful player, not just a brute force. He also admitted that him playing a finesse game and trying to be a versatile scorer actually hurt his career. What hurt me was that I wanted to be a consummate basketball player,
Bro.
and I wanted to be able to shoot the
I mean,
ball
he's good and
instead of
all.
just taking it to the
Don't
basket
get me wrong, he's an
and dunk
athletic
it as
freak, bro. But he's
I
not
should have.
the GOAT.
I had
mean,
great satisfaction
just makes
shooting
me so
fadeaway
mad when people are
shots,
like that,
hook
bro.
shots, finger
He's
rolls.
good, bro. He's good.
And a lot of
He's good, bro.
times,
He's good.
that was a negative more than a positive.
He's a big dude, too, bro.
If I just went out and took it to the basket every time, I'd have averaged 70 or 80 points a game, Wilt said. Things that were extraordinary were just ordinary for Wilt. And if we look at Wilt's stats, there is a huge discrepancy from the first half of his career, when he shot more than 30 times per game, and the second half, when he averaged only 13 field goal attempts per contest. Wilt was his own man, not really bothered too much by everyone else. And if he set his mind to do something, he would do it. So,
Yeah,
after the
that
65-66
passion, boy.
season, Wilt decided not to score as much. After he averaged 40 in his first 7 seasons, he wanted to prove that he can also pass, and became the league leader in assists. And
Okay.
is still the
All
only
right, bro. I
center
gotta
with
give
this
it to him. I
achievement.
gotta give it to him.
Can you imagine Michael Jordan saying one day, "Okay, fellas, I'm not scoring anymore. From now on, I'll only pass." Everybody would think Mike had gone mad.
Okay, MJ.
After Wilt decided to pass the ball more, the press wrote a story that he couldn't score anymore. So naturally, in the next 3 games, the Big Dipper had 62, 55, and 48 points just to prove them wrong.
I mean,
Wilt
that's
was
that,
as potent as
that's
ever.
that mentality.
And
That's
the
that
athletic
Mamba
freak that
mentality.
he was,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
could have averaged over 30 for every
He
year
was
of his
inspired
career.
by the Mamba.
He just got
before
tired
the
of it.
Mamba was born.
Watching Wilt, you always kind of got the idea he was just playing with people. That he was on cruise control and still 10 times better than anybody else
He's
that
a
was
freak,
playing
bro.
at that
He's
time,
an athletic freak,
said
bro.
Dan Issel, a former NBA player and
530
coach.
pounds, they said he bench. He beat
2
like,
very
he's a
different
fast
men,
dude.
both larger than life, and forever linked in history of the game. Any
Mm.
conversation about Wilt almost always involves Bill Russell, and vice
Yeah.
versa.
So true.
They were the 2 best players of their time, and their careers will forever be intertwined.
Oh, yeah,
With his physical ability, statistical achievements, and pure dominance over everybody else,
I mean,
Wilt would likely be considered the best player ever. However, he's not even considered the best player of his time. And for a casual fan, he's just a guy with good
he's not the best player ever, guys. You guys think that, bro. You guys are not thinking right. He's a good player. He's an athletic freak. He's athletic. He's good. He's athletic. He's strong. He's athletic. You know, he's good. He's good. He's good. But he's not the best of all time. His dribbling's not there,
numbers,
bro.
while Russell was the winner. And the truth is, somewhere in the middle. In 94 regular season meetings, Russell won 57 to Chamberlain's 37.
True.
In 49 playoff games, Russell came away victorious 29 times to Chamberlain.
I don't think Bill Russell or Will are the best centers of all time, though. I think Shaq's more dominant than both of them. Kareem's better than both of them, for sure. I said it, and I don't regret it.
Between the years 1960 and 1969,
Dang, he's up there.
Wilt's
He's up
teams
there,
were
though.
faced against Russell's
Oh, is that
Celtics
Wilt getting
8
dunked on?
times in the playoffs,
Oh, okay.
with 4 of those going
Hey,
to the
Billy boy.
deciding Game 7. Russell won all 4, but the total point differential was just 9 points in all Game 7s combined. So, a couple of bounces the other way, and the rings narrative could have been different. Also, Russell had the best coach in the game and better teammates. However, that was also by design. Russell wasn't the physical freak like Chamberlain and was not a highly touted player. Bill quickly realized that for success, he needs the whole team around him to be great. Russ wasn't as good a scorer as Wilt was, and even though he was capable, his intention wasn't to score himself. He always wanted to get the rest of the guys involved.
Is that Jerry West?
He was the passer at his position. But unlike Wilt, he wasn't trying to lead the league in assists to prove it. Russell wasn't a better individual player than Wilt. It was the other way around. If they played one-on-one, Wilt would always come up on top. In their 94 regular season games, Wilt averaged
probably
30
like
points
with a
and
team,
28
though, Bill would
rebounds
play better with
to
a
Russell's
team, you know what I'm
14
saying?
and 23. In the playoffs,
I think Wilt's
it was
better
similar.
overall.
Wilt had 25.7 and 28,
But, like,
while Bill
I
averaged
mean,
15 and
I don't think any of them
24.7
are,
boards.
you know.
But Russell was a
You know, like,
superior leader and didn't care
I don't
about
think
the
any of
numbers
them are
and what others
the
might
GOAT.
think of him. And there lies the
I mean,
secret.
that just makes
Russell's game was
I don't know why it
constructed
just
around
seemed like
team
that, bro.
basketball.
When people
And
call
because
them
basketball
goats,
is a
bro,
team
it's
sport,
just like, it's
the
not,
result
they're
in
not
championships
goats,
is 11-2. Even though some of the series were really close
bro.
and could have gone the other way, Wilt would have been better off in an individual sport.
How many?
He understood that too.
How many rings did Bill
Sometimes
have?
the
Like
mere
11,
power
right?
of you
Yeah, he went
makes you
crazy,
more
bro.
the individual
And
player.
Will only had like
Russell
2.
was more complete and was able to help his team win more than I did.
Oh my god! Imagine
Wilt
Shaq in that
Chamberlain on
area.
the Boston
Ooh.
Celtics would not have been the same. I would take away from Bob Cousy and Tom Heinsohn because I was a scorer too. So sometimes less is better.
That'd be
Wilt
cool.
said about the
Imagine
eternal
Kobe,
question
Kobe.
of who is
Kobe
better
would rock
between
all
the
these
two.
guys, bro. Dwayne Wade
Wilt
would rock
was
all
the
these
Renaissance
guys, bro.
man. Wilt Chamberlain was a guy larger than life who lived life to the fullest. He was interested in everything
Yes,
and
sir.
wanted to experience everything. He had a big
Okay.
heart, but was also a huge loner.
All-around athlete.
And if you
Wilt?
understand who he was as a person, that gives you a better understanding of who he was as a player. He achieved the biggest scoring feat in
That's
NBA
over here,
history,
7'16",
and then
bro.
decided it was time to start passing, and became the best passer in the league. He could have dunked everything,
cold. That's
but
pretty
wanted
cold.
to become a versatile
I mean,
scorer.
imagine like you want to start
He still
passing,
holds the record for the
and then all of a
highest
sudden you
field
just
goal
go crazy
percentage
passing.
ever.
People say you can't score, so
He
you
slept
start
with
dropping
one
crazy.
woman, only to start flirting with the next one. After he retired from
Ooh.
basketball, he became
Playa.
the best volleyball player. And that's who Wilt really was. Never
Playa.
satisfied,
Playa.
always exploring and moving to the next thing. If he wanted to, he could have settled down. If he wanted to, he could have dunked every
Can't do
ball
that anymore,
and won
buddy.
more championships. But that would have been boring. That would have been too physical, and he wouldn't have explored everything he could do.
If he was like had that,
And that explains
you know,
Chamberlain
burning
as a
passion,
player.
like just go kill
He
someone.
was a
bro,
Goliath who didn't want to be just the
Oh.
Goliath because
he would have gotten
it's not as
takeover in the
challenging.
first 10 minutes.
Nobody
God
likes this.
dang! Did you all see the size of that trophy?
And that explains Chamberlain as a player. He was a
Oh, he
Goliath
just blocked
who
Kareem.
didn't want to be
Okay, I
just the
see where
Goliath
we're
because it's not as
Bro, that-
challenging.
that thing's like
Nobody
8
likes
feet
those guys
tall.
anyway.
Alright, that's gonna cap it off for the video. Let me know what y'all think about this. Where do you put Wilt top 10 of all time? I mean, I don't know, bro. He's cool, but like, I don't know about that. If you guys go on to enjoy this, please subscribe. Like, you know. Check out the other channel. We're going crazy.